In this video, part 1 of the top 10 things that I hate about being an electrical contractor. Let's get into it. Number 1 thing I hate about being an electrical contractor is bad clients. And don't forget about the GCs. An unreliable and unorganized GC is like a cement boulder dropped into the ocean. It kills you. It's the worst thing in the world. It messes up your scheduling. Their demands are unreasonable. And you know what? They're the ones that are going to give you the next job. So you have no choice but try to keep them happy. Number 1 is your annoying clients and your unorganized GCs. Number 2 is your paperwork and administrative duties. That's right. When you graduate from being an electrician to becoming an electrical contractor, you gotta deal with all those things your boss used to have to deal with. You were actually pretty spoiled. Go to them right now if you haven't jumped ship and say thank you for everything you do to keep me employed. Man, paperwork, filling out forms, not to mention permits, inspections, oh my gosh, regulations. If you're in California, forget about it. All the rules and the insurances and the workers' comp, everything you have to be in charge of. Advertising, making sure the insurance payments get done on time, making sure payroll is accurate and you're filing your taxes. Can you imagine? Administrative and paperwork is gotta be the worst. So listen, worst thing about being an electrical contractor is the paperwork. You thought 1 and 2 is bad. Number 3, probably the worst ever. Finding qualified employees. That's right, hiring. You now have to have people help you. You cannot build an empire by yourself. Finding qualified technicians is probably the worst part of this job by far. Hey, listen, were you a great employee to your previous boss? I hope you were. If you weren't, I don't believe in karma, but let me tell you, you're gonna realize how difficult it was for your boss now that you're gonna be the boss. Look, finding employees is not the end of the world. I can help you with that. In fact, we have a course coming out called How to Hire Electricians When You're an Electrical Contractor. You need to vet them. You need to do background checks in your state if you're allowed. Did you know in some states you can't ask certain questions like have you had a criminal record or have you been in jail? Be careful. Make sure you're in touch with a human resources department so that you can hire qualified people legally in your state. The worst of the worst, number 3, finding qualified employees. Number 4 wasn't a problem until COVID hit. That is the supply chain. Getting materials to finish your project. Now, if you're just a residential new contractor that's not doing a lot of commercial, parts are pretty available. Hey, you can get anything you want at Home Depot. It's not quality and your customers might not like it, but you can get it. But when you move into commercial like we have, switch gear, panel boards, transformers, breakers, you name it. Anything once you're getting into commercial has a long lead time. The worst part of being an electrical contractor is you can't get paid to finish the job when you don't have the parts to finish the job. Hey, pay attention, listen, know the market, reach out for coaching, but it's the worst when the supply chain prevents you from finishing your projects and getting that final paycheck. Finally, number 5. Number 5 in our top 10 list is managing job sites. That's right. What? You mean managing job sites is one of the worst things about being an electrical contractor? Managing projects is no easy task. Now again, I told you earlier, we use Jobber for our service and field software. Now you must use software so that you can mitigate the risks when you're dealing with stuff like this. It's always a nightmare when the customers make a change order or you think you're done and you find a buried junction box or maybe the drywallers cut your wiring. On commercial, you find out that that equipment that you ordered is gonna be delayed another 3 to 4 weeks. If you do not have scheduling software, if you do not have invoicing, billing, tracking, you're gonna fall apart. It's one of the worst things about being an electrical contractor. Listen, I don't wanna go home after work to go back to work and try to figure all this out. Jobber, use it on the field, get it done while it's fresh in your mind so you can go home and relax. That's our first 5 of the 10 things we hate about being an electrical contractor. If you got anything out of that, make sure you subscribe, smash that follow, and make sure you click this tile right here so we can get into 6 through 10 and the one that I absolutely think is the worst, and that's the big L word, and we ain't talking about love.